will receive this message, this router. So this is, we call it router solicitation message, RS. Now, if you send that message, now the router will reply with router advertisement message. Router advertisement message, RA. Okay. So if you get the router advertisement message now, the router will not tell you your IP address. It will tell you that this is my IP address. This is my IP address because it will be the source IP address. Use it to generate your own IP. That's simply what this slack means. Okay, it means that you will not get the IP address. Now, how that will be done? IP address here will have a prefix. Prefix is the network portion in any IP address. The beginning of the IP address. This one, I can take it from the message I got. Prefix will be taken from router advertisement message. You get the prefix. So, and you take also the subnet mask. Prefix, let's say, and prefix length. Prefix length. Prefix length between, if I put it between bracket, is the subnet mask in IPv4 terms, subnet mask. Okay, and the prefix is network portion of the IP in IPv4 terms. Okay, so these are just different terms, but exactly the same idea. Now you get the network portion. Now what we will need, if you have network portion, what should you generate? Can you tell me in the chat box in IPv4, if you have network portion, what will be missing? Network portion, subnet mask. Now what's the missing part of the IP address? Can you tell me in the chat box? Anyone? Okay, exactly. Host portion. Thank you, brother. So we have the host portion. We don't have it. Now the client will generate the host portion. To generate the host portion, or what we call the global unicast address, we have two options. Okay, that will be host portion. Okay. Or let's say the right term here is the rest of the GUA. GUA is a public IP address. Is the public IP address. So now the rest of it, you have two options. Either your computer will generate it randomly. And I believe as computer science students, you know how the random numbers will be generated inside the computer. Is it really random? Nope. There will be some kind of equations. And your computer will use the time library to use the time in order to generate the number. So it's some kind of a debate in computer science field about, do we really have a random number inside the computer? If we need to have a specific rules to generate that random, it means not random. So it is funny, but in general, you will use randomly generate whatever number you need. The other option is to use what we call EUI, I think EUI or EUI 64. What is that? This is using the MAC address, to generate 64 bits. How is that? If you saw the recording I gave you an example. We will get the MAC address. Let me try to get my own MAC address. So I repeat this step again. ipconfig, not sure if I will get it directly if it's ipconfig. And let's try to see one MAC address. MAC address would be physical address. Should have at least one physical address. Okay, so it means that I need ipconfig/org to get the physical address. Okay, this was one of the MAC address. This is for my Bluetooth. Okay, so now if I take this one, let's say this number would be used in order to generate the rest of the host portion of the IP address. Now, if that's the case, what will happen now? The number would be splitted into two parts, okay? And then FFFE will be inserted there. And then we go to this number, the second bit in this address. So if I change the 5 to binary, it will be 0101, right? This is a 5. Now, the second bit here, I reverse it. Whatever number I have, if I have 0, I'll make it 1. If it's 1, I'll make it 0. So this one will become 0. Now, the 5 will become 1. The final IP address will be 146C column EBFF column. Then I have FE87 column. Then 95BE. This is the host portion of the IP address, IPv6 address. This is how we generated using the EUI64. Of course, more examples I gave in the class, the recording, if you check it. But if you look here, for example, look at this IP address. Is it using random number, or this IP address used the EUI or used the MAC address? What do you think? Let me show it to you. I want to see. Looking at this specific IP address here. Is this IPv6 address randomly generated, or is it using MAC address? Can you tell? And if you look at it, can you tell this is which method it was using? Random or using the MAC address? Which one? Can you tell? Yes? No? Just look at the middle of the IP address, the IPv6 address. Can you see the FFFE? See this part? FFFE. So we know that this is using MAC address. Look at this one here. Also, you have the FFE in the middle. So we know also this one was using the MAC address. Now, if I ask you to regenerate the MAC address from here, give me the MAC address of this device. Can you give it to me? Can anyone tell me what is the MAC address of this device? Write it in the chat. Write it in the chat box. And whoever will answer correct first, I will give 0.5 bonus mark. What will be the MAC address of this device, the DNS server, knowing that the IPv6 address is this one? So give me the MAC address of the server. Okay, first one will give me the right IP address, the right MAC address. I'll give 0.5 bonus mark. Hopefully someone is still awake to try. Is the question too hard or it's easy? What do you think? Not that difficult. Okay, at last. Okay, we got a reply here saying that it is D2. Okay, so what you got this 9, right? And the 9 will be, if I look at it here, 9 will be in binary, it will be 1, 0, 1, 1, right? 3 and 6, nope. 7, 8, sorry, 8 and 1. This is the 9. So if I want to convert the second one to 1, I will get D. Now we look at it. D, 2, 5, 9. And then we have 3C. Remove the FFE because these are added later. 0, 2, D5, page 3. Okay, correct. So brother, can you please write in the WhatsApp group 0.5 bonus mark? So I will remember it later. Okay, so that's simply how the things will be done. And how the router would tell the computer or the client which method will be used depend on the flags. I will not repeat the flags. We have different flags. We have A, O, M. Depend on their values, these flags. Just it's a bit inside the header, 3 bits. Depend on their values, we will know exactly how to behave or what will happen next. So this is EUI, stands for what? If you can find stands for what, it's fine, but I never remember the name. And you can see here, Windows, Linux, Mac operating system allow the user to modify the generation of the interface ID, meaning that you are allowed to decide to use the randomly or to use the EUI. But one thing very, very important to remember as well, there's another protocol should be used if we are using Slack. That protocol is called DAD, the duplicate address detection. Yesterday, we had physical lab for enterprise network. 2 groups, by mistake, they used duplicated IP address. And things will get very messy after that. The network will not behave well, and it will be hard to understand what's wrong. Why sometimes I do ping, I get a reply. Sometimes I do it, I don't get anything. Okay, so, and suddenly what happened also, the devices start using a temporary IP address instead of the IP address we assigned it to them. So it was a little bit hectic, but it was a good experience to see what will happen if we get duplicated IP address. So to avoid these kind of issues, we have to run the DAD, not us, of course, the operating system will run it, to check the IP address doesn't exist in the area, then you can use it. Now, DHCP v6, I mentioned it in the class, I don't want to repeat it again. We go to the configuration directly. The configuration is not difficult, it's not different than what we did in IPv4. Okay, we have a server. So we have to tell the server that you need to give some information to the other side in order for them to decide how to get the IP address. The client operating system, of course. At the client, you have to enable the DHCP v6, and you have DHCP v6 relay agent as well. Also, that should be activated just as we did in IPv4. Now, how to configure that? There are 5 steps. Remember, all routers, by default, they are using IPv4, even the new ones. So first of all, you need to activate IPv6 unicast routing. What does that mean? It means that your router from now on will start sending router advertisement messages, not only hello messages only used by IPv4. When you do IPv6 unicast routing, now the router is ready to send these messages. Define DHCP pool as we did previously. You see, it's the same command. Instead of writing IP DHCP pool, you type IPv6 DHCP pool, give it the name. Configure the DHCP, of course, options. Then you can include DNS server and everything will be as IPv6 IP addresses. And Yeah, that's simply how it will be done. Bind the interface to the pool go to the interface itself and use IPv6 DHCP server, give it the name. And simply, this is one of the things. In there, you can change the flag at the interface. You can change the flag O, M, and A. If you make it A, it will be using Slack. If you change the flag O, there will be a server to help. And there will be also, if you change the M, there will be only DHCP server. We mentioned that last class, so I don't want to repeat it. But how to change these flags? The command is where is that one? Inside here, inside the G001, you type IPv6 neighbor discovery managed. If you type managed, it will be the flag M will be 1. If flag M is 1, that means it is a stateful, because we mentioned it last time. If M is 1, it will be a stateful DHCP. Another one, you can type IPv6 neighbor discovery other. If you just type this one, the O flag will become 1. So what you need to do, simply check the flags. I talked about it last class. Where is the flags? Here are the flags. Check this one to see what are the combinations you need to put in order for your network to work properly. And that's simply how to do it. That's simply how we would do it. So since there's no packet tracer here, let's try to build our own network. Very simple one, okay? I'll open Cisco Packet Tracer. Please open it with me. Let's do it together. And you need to submit it before the end of the class. If you didn't attend the class, you're able to submit it later, okay? This is just for those who attended the class. Okay, so let's see. Now, this is the DHCP. What I want to do, I want to have one router. It's a very simple network. One router, one computer, one PC. As simple as that. Connect them together using straight through, sorry. Then from G00, I will connect to fast Ethernet 0. That's it. Let's see how this thing will be done. My advice to you, if you are using DHCP, don't configure the device and enable the DHCP if the server is not ready. It's okay, it's not a mistake, but to get the right results, it might take some time. Okay, so just leave the computer now. I'll go to the router. At the router, I need to put some IP address there. Okay, no, enable config terminal. Okay, in here, I need, first of all, I need to activate the IPv6. How to activate IPv6? You type IPv6 unicast routing. IPv6 unicast routing. Now, this router, it will know from now on, instead of sending only hello messages, I have to send router advertisement. Okay, and the router advertisement is a unicast, is any cast message. It means that it will be sent to whoever on the other side, okay, of that link. Now the unicast is there. I need one more step to do, is to go to interface G00. I think G00, okay. Interface G00. In here, I have to give it an IP address. For the routers, we need to put the IP addresses. So I would type IPv6 address. Then I need to put IPv6 address 2001 ACAD. And the others I forgot. Usually we use these numbers. Why these numbers? It's not a must, but what happened in IANA, the one who's responsible on giving IP addresses, they said, okay, we have a lot of IP addresses for IPv6, but let's go in specific sequence, not give randomly. We start with 2001. This is a huge number of IP addresses. If all of them are finished, then we can move to the next one. Maybe we make it 2002. Okay. So if you check your IP address, IPv6 address in your devices, all of them will start with 2001. And the link local will start with FE80 or another one, FE80, FC01, like starting with F. This is usually generated by the computer, not by the your operating system, not the server. Okay, if you check here, you can see FEC. So FEC is given by, this is VMware. So if you have VMware in your computer, I'm not 100% sure, but check it. You will see something similar to this one. If we check another one, okay, link local FE80, and then there's the other number. Okay, so 2001, and after that, ACAD, this is just a number I choose. I will put colon, okay, not this one. ACAD, DB8, just a number. And then I'll put the subnet ID, 1. What is that? In IPv6, they said instead of calculating the subnet ID and network ID, different subnets will have different headaches. Here we will do 2001 ACAD DB8. 1 is representing the subnet. In the network portion or the prefix, this group, the fourth one, will represent the subnet. So this one would be 1. I will give it ::1/64. This is how we write it. And to show you how that would be different in G01, I'll give the same IP address, but I will change the subnet ID. Okay, 2. And then if you have more subnets, you can give 3, 4, 5. Just change this one. This is the part of the IPv6 address talking about different subnets inside the network. So it's very, very easy to do compared to what we have in IPv4. You have to calculate and find it. Okay, so I forgot to do no shutdown. We have to do no shutdown. It's not, there's no exception for that. Okay, no shutdown for G01. Also, I want to do no shutdown. No shutdown. Okay. But of course, this one is not connected to anything, so it should be fine. Now, after I do this one, you can see the IPv6 is activated, but the computer doesn't have any IP address. If I check the computer again, you will see that you have the link local starting with FE80. This is just an IP address used temporary until you get the real one. Now, the real one, since it's static, it's expected for you to write something. If we want to write, what it will be should start with the same as the interface, the gateway, 2001, ACAD, DB8. Okay. And then we have to put 1::2. Now, this is different than the gateway. Not only that, okay, here we have to put the subnet mask 64. Default gateway will be the one we put in the router. Okay, so you can see IPv6, although it's a little bit long and annoying, but there's no calculation required from you. You just change the number and that's it. Okay, of course, we don't want static. We want to go to automatic. If I click on automatic, it will give you directly the IP address. See this one? 2001, ACAD, DB8, 1, and after that, it gives you a full IP address. Is this randomly generated or it is from the MAC address? What do you think? Is it randomly generated or from the MAC address? It is MAC address. Let's check that one. If I go to config and then fast Ethernet 0, check the MAC address. This is the one. So simply they just put FFE here and change the first bit. Okay, so you can see it's very, very straightforward. And this one here, let me ask, where's that one? Okay, do we have from the three different types of IPv6, the DHCPv6, which one is used here? Stateful, Slack, or Slack with DHCP server? Which one is used here? Is it DHCPv6 stateful server or Slack with server or Slack only? It is Slack only. Why? Why it's Slack only? Did you configure any server at the router? No, we didn't configure anything at the router. So simply, there is no server to give anything. We just give the interface an IP address directly, it sends it to the other side. As simple as that. However, if you look at the default gateway, it's using the link local address. So if we try to ping this server, let's try to ping our own gateway. Ping, how to ping IPv6, I forgot. Is it the same command or different? 2001 ACAD DB8 1 colon 1. You can see directly, you get a reply from your gateway. Now let's put another one, another computer. I'll put another computer on the other side in here. And we said G001, we already put an IP address there, right? So let's connect it. G01, we gave it an IP address. Now I'll go to the computer, desktop, IP configuration, change to automatic. Directly, you get the IP address from the router. And if you compare the speed also, this is very, very, very fast compared to IPv4. We needed to wait a little bit before we get something. Here, directly, you just connect, activate the IPv6 configuration to be automatic. Directly, you get the IP address. So it is not that big difference. For me, I believe it's very easy. Now, if you want to do different type of connection, let me try to find in here, unicast. If you want to put a server, okay. Now let's say that you decided, no, I want to specify certain server. Okay, the router will be the server. Let's do that. So the router will be the server. I will close the PC1. I did that long time ago. So let's try figure it out together. Okay. So now what I would do, I will go to the general configuration mode, IPv6 DHCP pool. I'll call it pool v6. Okay. Now inside here, what can we do? Let's do the question mark to see the options. You can put the DNS server. You can put the domain name. I don't know, it's prefix delegation. Long time ago, I used this one. I don't remember it. And here you can specify the IP addresses to be used. So let's try to do address. If you remember in IPv4, we used to type network. We don't type address. It's the same thing. So here I'll type 2001 ACAD, ACAD DB8 1/64. I think this is how we write it. Okay. Not the expected one. Let's see what's missing. Prefix. Okay, so it means what I did is wrong. It doesn't need this one. No. What's missing here? Let's see. prefix IPv6 address and location prefix. And this one? Nope. What should we put here? Let's see. DHCP pool. Okay. Configure the DHCP v6 pool with options. Common options include the address prefix command, domain name, DHS server. This is DNS server, not DHS. I think it's typo. Let's see. Typo, is it? DNS server, yes. Let me just fix this one. DNS server IP address and more. What should we put here? DB. Oh, okay, thank you. DB8, okay, let's try to see this one now. Okay, 1. Not okay, colon, not okay, and then 1/64. Okay, it's not working. I don't know what we have to put here. Prefix should be the network portion. So I put the network portion, but didn't like it. Let's try. Not the subnet. Okay, /64. Still. The problem when you get an IP address, error here, it could be at any point, not the beginning. Okay, never mind. We can skip that one. No need for the server. In the future, if you need it, you can do it. Okay, IPv6, neighbor, discover prefix default, no auto configuration. If you want the flags, this is how you change the flags. This is how you change the flags. If you want to change M, if you want to change A, and then it will decide how to do it. Okay, actually, I don't really want to do it because I have something. One student asked me regarding the project. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, project is postponed until 11th of January. So 1 more week, because some of you may be having FYP showcase tomorrow, inshallah. So the project will be on Sunday. You have to submit it. If you already submit, you have the time now to maybe make it better or whatever. Okay. Now, okay, how to make the relay? You go to the interface as we did for IPv4. You type IPv6 DHCP relay destination, and then you write the IP address of the server. Okay. So this is it's different than IPv4, because if you remember, in IPv4, when we typed it, we went to the router. We want to send a broadcast message from here to the server. That's what we wanted to do. So we told G001 that you have to let the broadcast message pass. But remember, for IPv6, we don't have broadcast message. What we have anycast. Anycast meaning that I can send to this computer. Green is not clear. Let's take another color. I can send from this computer to anyone on the other side. The switch will send anyone on the other side. Here, when I try to send anyone to anyone and to the other side, I need to tell it, go to G00 and allow it to talk to the other side. So in here, that's why we type IPv6 relay, the destination. I'll put the destination of the server. And then I say where exactly to find the server. It is at G00 because there might be some other network here. So instead of sending it everywhere, which will be the same idea of the broadcast, we have to specify the server. It is connected to G00. Send it there. Okay. So that's simply, okay, what I try to do, I see the Net Academy, maybe we have an activity there instead of trying our own DHCP v6. Let me check the Net Academy. They have something there? That would be amazing. Okay, until Net Academy is open, I want to ask, any of you want to take AWS Net Cloud Foundation course? Anyone interested in the cloud to take a certification in that one? If yes, can you please write something in the, okay, yeah, in the chat box? I just want to see how many of them, because I already have an open class, but it's open until March. That's why if you want to join that class, I'll open it until March only. You have to finish by then. Okay. 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 I will try to give you the, actually for this one, I cannot have the link. I will need your email addresses. So if possible, can you PM send private messaging me on WhatsApp? Give me your email address so I can add you to the class, AWS class. Okay. Okay. Where are we now? We finished, alhamdulillah, many topics. We are here. Next class, inshallah, it will be in the lab. Next week, we can finish FHRP and the land security, and that's it. We'll be done, inshallah. So Slack, I just want to see if there's any packet tracer here. We can do it together, or I give it to you as an exercise. Then I want to do one DHCP v4 because I was asked about it. There's no packet tracer here. No packet tracer here. Nope. They assume that we know. Okay, let me see the lab. The lab, configure DHCP v6. Should we do it now or we do it in the physical lab? I think physical lab. Okay, let's do this one now. Let's do this one now. Okay, open a new packet tracer. This one, forget about it. We will not submit it. It's very easy, very simple. Now, open a new one. This one here, you have to submit it before next class, before Thursday. Cancel. Okay. Okay. So let's do this one together. I need the diagram in here. I need in here. Okay. So first of all, we do the physical topology. I need two computers, A and B. A is here, B is here. Next, I need two switches. I will go a little bit slow at the beginning because I know some of you still opening your packet tracer. Here, and here. You don't have to change the names. I will change it just to kill time until you are catching up. PCA, PCB. I'll call the switches exactly as they are called here. Switch 1. This one is switch 2. Router 1 and router 2. Now we need to connect the cables. So I need Cooper straight through from the computer, fast Ethernet, go to the switch. Here they are meshing F06. I will follow exactly what they are saying, but I don't think it will affect anything. Then straight through from F05 to G001 here. Since two routers, same type of devices, between them should be a crossover. So G00 here, G00 here. Then from a router to a switch, G001 to F05. Next, straight through again from F018 to F0 here. Okay, what did I do? And 0. Okay, done. So the physical connectivity is already there. What I have to do next, I have to put the IP addresses. So at router 1, here are the IP address. Router 1. Router 1. Okay. Command line interface. Let's remove this one. I don't need it. I just need router 1. So put it in here. I can see your writings. If you write anything in the chat box, at the same time, I can do the configuration. Okay, so first question we answer no. Enable config terminal.
For router, you use which cable?
Router to router, we use crossover. Okay, this one. However, it's not a big deal. Okay, Cooper crossover we can do. In real life, if it's a big distance, we use serial. Sometimes, even in the lab, we have one type of the cables. So it's not a big deal, but this is the correct thing because when they made the Cooper, they had two types at the beginning. Okay, so it's not that big issue. Okay, let's try to do the IP addresses here. I need to see this side. Just a second. Okay, let's do it now. So what I would do first, I will activate the IPv6. This is a very important. If you don't activate the IPv6, unicast routing, router advertisement will not be sent. And then the devices will get confused. Now I go to interface G00, G00. In G00, when I'm there, I have to put the IPv6 address. IPv6 address, it will be 2001 colon DB8 colon ACAD. Okay, so they didn't use the one I was mistakenly switching them, ACAD DB8. But that's not a mistake. That's not, should not be the reason why it didn't work previously. Okay, and this one is subnet 2. That's why we have 2 here. Subnet 2, and then the host portion for the gateway also is 1/64. No shut. And then I'll have to do the link local. How to do the link local? Just give me a second to find it. Link local address. Okay, where's the link local? Link local. I think I have to type IPv6, then question mark. What to put the link local? I forgot the command for link local. I think should be written here somewhere, maybe. Here. Oh, it's good here. They have the prefix. It was my mistake, sorry. Should be DB8 ACAD, not ACAD DB8. Okay, it's good they have the command, but I'm searching for the command to type the link local. I forgot it. Link local. Where is that? Okay, never mind. Let me search for it somewhere else. Actually, for network administrators in general, you will need the manual to be in on your office, on your desk, because we don't memorize all commands. Sometimes we have to refer to it. Command. So, IPv6. Okay. Seems that I just have to type IPv6 address again. Let's try that one. I'm not sure if that will work. IPv6 address. Then what we have to write? Interesting. They are not specifying. Okay, so in that case, I'll try to write it again. Here IPv6 address, and then we put it, but I'm afraid that it will overwrite the previous one. But apparently it will not. It will discover that there is the IP address is different, so it will not overwrite it. Let's try to do it. FE 80:1. Okay. Incomplete command, yeah, of course, because I forgot to put the while the subnet, the prefix length, which is /8. Given an error is invalid. Why it's invalid? I think this one is reserved. Let's try 64. Oh no, should have a subnet mask. What's wrong? IPv6 address FE80::. Link local. Okay, let's try this one. Link local. Okay, thank you. We got it. Thank you very much. So we just typed it here. Now I want to double check that it is not overwriting. Do show run, because that's one thing. You might mistakenly overwrite it. You'll get one IP address. Here we look at it. Alhamdulillah, we have the link local is there without erasing our thing. Thank you. Okay, let's continue now. Try to do it fast. Where am I? What happened? I clicked something. Where is my thing? My table. Come on. I lost my table, the one I'm following. Okay, here. Okay. So now what I have to do, I have to go to G0's interface, G001. I'll give it the IP address, IPv6 address, the long one, this one. Check here, you will see it's the same IP address, but the subnet portion here, the 2 here, will become 1 to refer to subnet 1. Okay, the link local is the same link local as the one we just discovered. This is done. Now, router 1 is ready. I go to router 2. Router 2, let's try to do the same thing. I need the IPv6 address. I'll put it here. Then I can try in here, but I want to see your commands, your writing. Okay, so no, enable config terminal. And after that, I will go activate the IPv6 first. So it will start unicast routing. So now it will start sending the advertisement messages. Interface G000. And when I'm here, I type the IP address. IPv6 address will be 2001 DB8 ACAD. Here, this subnet, I want to do it 2. Remember, we did subnet 2 before. This is between routers. That's why we have 2 of them with the network 2. Let me show this one to you. So you can see here, this subnet will be 2001 DB8 ACAD 1. This one here between routers, 2001 DB8 ACAD 2. So one of them will be : 1. The other one will be : 2. Okay, that's why we have to know how to distribute the IP addresses. 2/64. This is done. Now I want to put the link local. So IPv6 address. The link local is the same one as we used previously, FE80::2, because we talk to subnet 2. Same subnet should have the same, or shouldn't have the same IP address. Let's see this one. G00 here will be talking to G00 here. If they have the same link local, that will be duplicated IP address because they are in the same network, same link. But if we want to talk to different subnet, it's okay to use the same link local. Okay, so this is 2 link local. Done. Now I go to interface G001. And there, I will just repeat the previous one. But see, this is subnet 3. Subnet 3. Link local, I can use the previous one, the FE80::1. We forgot to do the no shutdown in the previous one. Don't know why. In G00, we have to do also no shutdown. Okay, this is done. Now they say PCA and PCB just enable the DHCP. So I'll go here, go to PCA, desktop IP configuration, go to automatic. What's happening? Why it's take time? I said it's faster. Oh, okay, something is wrong there. What is wrong here? Oh, I forgot no shutdown in router 1. Sorry. Router 1, I forgot no shutdown. G00, no shutdown. G001, sorry, 1 and 0. Both of them should have no shutdown. That's why I didn't get anything. Makes sense. Okay, so I got PCA again, IP configuration. If it's automatic, static, and then see now, if you try to do automatic, it would take time because still orange color. It means that still try to communicate with the devices. Wait for it until it become green, and then try to make it automatic. Okay, it's green now, automatic. Directly you get the IP address. Very, very fast. And this one also, you see it's starting with 2049. If I go to configuration, fast Ethernet, you see yours is starting with 00. So it changed the bits. Then you get 49 and the rest are working. So simply it's using the MAC address to generate. PCB, same thing. I'll go to desktop, IP configuration, automatic. Directly you get the IP address. Also, it is generated from your MAC address. So this is done, but now we have to follow whatever they're asking to do. Verify Slack address assignment from router 1. It wants us to check, did we get it or not? Here, there are a lot of talking. I don't care about talking. The router used with CCNA, hands-on labs, or whatever. Required resources, never mind, done. I hate it when they explain details. You see here, they are asking us also to assign the passwords. Usually I skip that part because password will be annoying. Every step you do, it will ask you for password. But of course, in real life, you have to put the password. Another thing, disable DNS lookup. This is important, okay? Because you don't have a DNS server. If you want your network not to search for DNS, you have to disable the DNS lookup. How to disable that? It's a good question. You have to go to the router. I think in the general configuration mode, I have to say disable, mark, nope. Go to disable DNS lookup. No DNS, forgot the command. I forgot that command to disable the DNS. No domain name. Domain name. Nope, just skipping the command. It's been a while since I taught computer networking. I forgot the command. and disable DNS lookup. No IP domain lookup. Okay. No IP domain. Okay. When you do this one, now your router will not search for the DNS because there's no DNS. If you have it, if you have a server called DNS, then the router will be searching for it. So that's why we disable this one. These things, I will assume you know how to do it. Anyone unaware of how to do a password? Or you forgot the command to do these steps? Should we do this one or it's fine, we can skip? Should we do this one or we can skip? Can you write in the chat box? Because in the final exam, I might ask you about them. Okay, let's do just to refresh our memory. Did you finish the IPv6 addresses or not yet? Can you raise your hand if you finished the IPv6 address so I know how fast should I go? Okay, most of you are already done. So let's do it fast. I got to do it in one router. You have to do it at every router. So in one router, actually it's not only router, even switch should be there. In the configuration mode, I'll type enable secret, and then I have to put a password. Which password they asked to put in here? Where is that? Where's my okay. Here you see this one. Assign class as the privileged execution encrypted password. What does that mean? If I type enable, it should ask me about a password, because when we type enable at the beginning, to take us from the user mode to the privileged mode. So the password here should be class. In the general configuration mode, we type enable secret class. And then for the console, you remember the one we use in the lab, it's not safe to leave it without a password. So we go to line, console, console 0. If you type 1 is okay because it's a virtual thing, but you have to give it a number. Now, when you are here, see the options you can do with the console. You have a lot. One of them is password. So let's set the password, and that password will be Cisco. Okay, exit. Now I want to go to VTY, the virtual lines, terminal lines. These are the lines we use them to connect to Telnet and SSH. So I'll type line VTY 02. I don't know how many lines do I have. I need to check first. Let's do show run just to see how many lines do I have to put the password on each of them. You can see I have console already having a password. Auxiliary, we have to put a password, but we never use it. I will skip that one. But in real life, we have to put passwords here. And VTY is 0 to 4 because sometimes you have 0 to 15. Okay, so line, where is that? Line, virtual terminal lines. I don't know why it's standing for what. You can check it later. 0 to 4, 0 space 4. Oh, typo, sorry. Okay, when I'm there, I'll type the same thing, password, Cisco. Now, when I do this one and check do show run, let's see what do we have. Enable secret, the password we give, which is a class, it was encrypted directly because the command secret, it will be to set a password and encrypt the password at the same time. In network and system administration, usually I teach how to make this encryption stronger. This number 5 is showing which algorithm we use to encrypt the password. If you study cryptography, you know you have many different algorithms. So the 5 is showing one of the algorithm. Here we don't have to worry about it, just skip. But if you go there to the down, you see that there's password Cisco here, which is not secure. If anyone could get this file or this, it is a file configuration, running configuration file, the passwords are there. So we need to encrypt them. How to encrypt them? After you put all the password, it will always be good to use service encryption. Sorry, password encryption. Service, where is that? Oh, not in the line. Sorry. Exit in the configuration mode. Service, password, come on, password. Let me see it. Service. Encryption. What was that one? Oh my God, I completely forget. Password encryption. Let me try just to see what are the commands. I forgot the command. Again, today is not my day. The command.
Misspell service.
Sorry?
You misspelled the service.
Okay, thank you for telling me. Okay, service. Then the command password encryption. There are too many services actually. DHCP. I don't know what's this one. Seems like a protocol, and they have password encryption. So password encryption, enter. Now if I type to show run, go to the end, you see the password, and then you cannot see the word Cisco. It's encrypted. No one can see the password. These few steps we just did, these are a must. You have to do it in every device, not only routers, you have to do it in the switches as well. Another thing, we have something called message of the day. Only for authorized people. What is that? Forgot what's message of the day. Banner message of the day, sorry. Banner. These all are computer networking commands. That's why I forgot them. I don't use them. Message of the day. Okay, I don't want to type it again, so just to put it here. Banner. What is that? We put a message for people who try to access our device, but they don't have the password. So let's try to do that. I will exit here, exit again. You see, now I'm starting the connectivity with my device. When I click on enter, I'll get only for authorized people. So let's try to do enable. It will ask you for the password. What is the password here? Is this Cisco or class? Inshallah, on Thursday, if you do the network, I'll ask you to set the password as well. Class, okay? You see, if you don't have the password, you should not be allowed to go to the privilege mode and start doing changes to the router. So this is what it's asking us to do, but there's one more step. Where is that step? Okay, encrypt done, create a banner done, save the running configuration to startup configuration. What is that? I type copy, run to start. Start. What is that? Running configuration file, it's inside the RAM of your router. Startup configuration file, it's inside the NVRAM. So when the moment I switch off the device, everything will be deleted inside the running configuration. So all your changes you did will go. But if you have the startup configuration, having the configuration, it means it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. So copy run to startup. If I want to write it complete one, to be running config, which I really hate to write that long one, to startup config. And I told you before, I never do the full command. It take time and typos, misspelling, and all these things. Okay, so you can see here, if I try to switch off this device, which device is that? Router 1. I'll go to here, go to the physical one, and switch off the device. When you switch off the device, now whatever configuration you did, if you didn't save it by copy the running configuration to the startup configuration, you have to repeat everything again. Which is, of course, now is it on or off? The light is not clear. Let me just double check. Now it's on, okay. Command line interface, you see, it is restarting. Restarting or reboot. Give it a second. So imagine you put a password. See, directly everything became green here. Why? Because the IP addresses are there. Imagine you put a password and then someone came, switch off the device, switch it on. There's no password. The banner is here. That's good. Try to enter. It's asking about you and about the password. So that's a good sign. Everything is saved. Okay. Now, do we want to do this one? We did this one. It's asking you for password. Okay, you can repeat, just repeat these things. Now they want us to put the IP addresses. What is configure G001 in interfaces by putting the IP address as the table. We did that. Configure a default route on each router pointed to the IP address of G00 on the other router using the following command. What is this one? This is exactly as the IP route. Or I want to do a static routing here, this class, okay. How to do the IP route, config terminal. Instead of IP route, I type IPv6 route. What they want us to do, if the packet we are sending it, it's not belonging to the same subnet. So anything, if it's anything, this is how we write 0.0.0. We type it like that. Colon 0. It means any type which is not in the any. It's like any when we do in the enterprise network. Any packet. Okay. If you don't have it in the routing table, then send it to the other side. What is the other side? 2.2.2. Who is this one? Here we are in router 1. 2.2.2 is this one. It is the IP address of G00 in router 2. So at router 1, I tell it, if you don't know this packet, where it should go, send it to this IP address of router 2 G00, the one connected to me. Okay, so let's send it there. It will be 2001 DB8 ACAD, and the G00, it is colon 2 /64. Oh, mistake again. Just give me a second. Where is that command? 2001 IB6 root 2001 DB8. Okay. ACAD. Okay. Oh, there's no /64. Okay. Okay, no need for the prefix. That's a good news. Now I'll go to router 2, tell it the IP route. In router 2, go to router 2. In there, enable config terminal. Now what I will do here, I'll go IPv6 route. Any packet you get, you don't know who is that, where to send it, just send it to router 1 G00. So what is router 1 00? It is this one. Let's hope there is no typo, no mistake again. 2001. Now you can know why I always avoid doing IPv6. A lot of typos, a lot of issues to consider. ACAD, colon, no, before that, 1 colon, and then that would be 2 colon 1, enter. So this is how we do the static routing between the two routers for IPv6. Verify, you can verify. How to verify? Actually, we just try the devices. So from PC1, I try to PCA, I try to ping PCB. PCA here. What is the IPv6 address? No. Okay, .1. Wow, that's too long. I just need to copy it from somewhere. I don't want to type that one. Let's copy it from here. Can we copy? No, that's not a good news. Okay, I'll keep it here. Let's go to PCB, try to ping that router. If the static route is working, it should be fine. So now to be ping 2001 DB8 ACAD 1204 9AFF FE63 585. Oh, that's long. Okay, we got a reply. That means everything is okay. The routing, the IP route, the static routing, all of them are working. Okay, are we done? Actually, no. If you check this one, the time is up. But if you check here, you will see that it wants you now to verify Slack. We did the Slack, and we know that we have Slack. Everything is okay. No issues at all. But you can go to the, if you try to do it as it's asking you to do, go to the command prompt here. And in here, you type ipconfig. And let's see what results you will get. Okay. Forget the Bluetooth. This is the one we are having. So what do we have? Default gateway is this one. It's the link local we put. Subnet mask. Okay, we didn't do the IPv4. That's why we don't have anything in IPv4. But you have the link local is here. The IPv6 address is here. Temporary IPv6 address is not showing. It's fine. We don't care. Okay, so simply it's working. Now this is Slack. But if you go and try to check the rest of them, Slack IP configure all. Okay, if you check the other computer, never mind. Now it's telling you if you want to, step 2, configure router 1 to provide stateless DHCP-v6. This is the second case, which is there will be Slack, and at the same time, there will be a server. The server will have some information. The information it will have, not the IP address, not the subnet mask, the DNS server, and the domain name only. So you can try to do this one. Next class in the lab, if we have time, inshallah, we will do this one in the lab. Although I'm telling you, in the lab, IPv6 always create a lot of headaches because the operating system of the switches and routers is outdated. So we can try and see if it's working or not. So this one, IPv6, I want you to submit it. Finish this one in Packet Tracer. Just follow the steps. Even the commands are there. Follow one by one, and then submit it to Italian before next class. So when you come next class, inshallah, you should be ready to do it. And you know the command. If I'm stuck somewhere, you tell me how to fix it. Okay. So that's all for today. I hope it was interesting, although many commands didn't work or I didn't know how to write them. But this is IPv6, and these are the passwords you have to put because we never put the password. I always try to avoid things you study in computer networking, and I assume you know them already. But maybe in the lab next time, I will ask you to do everything. Okay. This will not be the last lab we join. Maybe we will have one more lab, inshallah. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I will stay here one more minute after you close. See you, inshallah, in the lab, in Cisco lab, next class on Thursday. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome.